Osho, The Power of Here versus the Power of Now. April 30, 2007. Transcribed and typed by Osho through the interdimensional portal. Date, April 30, 2007. Yes, here is a difference within the application and experience of oneself whether you are in here of awareness or in the now of consciousness. The difference would be your own choice of two exceptionally different experiences of oneself. The one is the now in consciousness, the probability of death of yourself within this world due to the consequences of such a choice in expression and experience of yourself, could be inevitable. The one is here in awareness, the definitive birth of yourself within this world due to the standing up and making a statement of who you really are, walking and talking the choice of existing here in every moment as who you are, with such a choice in expression and experience of yourself. Now of consciousness. Specificity, each one on earth at the moment are existing in the now of consciousness within experience and expression as who they are. The now of consciousness is as vast as the universe itself, with the stars and planets expressing themselves within. Each one's life, experience of themselves and expression of themselves here on earth, from birth till death do us part, is the now of consciousness. The now of consciousness has a beginning and an end, with the beginning as birth and the end as death. There is unfortunately no way out of this network of the now of consciousness, unless each one makes a different choice. The equalizer between the power of here versus the power of now would be the power of choice. Once each one make this choice, they make a statement of who they are and who they will be through becoming this choice as a statement of who they are and remaining with this choice no matter what. Consciousness is a network, one lock into this network during the process of birth, as this network stretches across and within and throughout the entire world movement. Let's take the world in this moment of structure and each human being experiencing themselves within as a bumper car structure at a show, for instance, the network above which allows for the bumper cars to remain connected with sparks flying in all directions as it moves, is the network of and within the world, the network that allows human beings to remain in the now of consciousness. The bumper cars itself within the arena are all human beings on earth, the world with human beings within participating within a bumper car experience. The ones riding and driving these bumper cars as human beings are consciousness, with each human being as its slave, being driven and directed as to where to go and what to experience and express as who they are through consciousness being in control of themselves as the bumper cars. Observe, even bumper cars have a beginning and an end, with the opportunity of experience in the center of the two, while still connected to the network above with the sparks flying in all directions. The starting up of the bumper cars is the beginning during the birth period of each human being, with the sparks flying on the roof of the network, sending an impulse signal through the entire network of the world. Within this moment connecting to the network of the world, ready to become one with the world of consciousness through participation and experience within the now of consciousness. This moment arrives, the starting point of the experience of oneself within the now of consciousness is the moment the bumper cars as each human being starts, with the sparks flying above, connecting oneself to the network of the world of consciousness, the now. The movement of oneself as the bumper cars is the moment of experiencing oneself within the connected realms of consciousness networks within the world, the moment of experiencing oneself within the now of consciousness. During this experience of oneself within the now of consciousness as the bumper cars as human beings, they are being driven by consciousness as who they become. Consciousness consisting of thoughts, emotions, memories, feelings, beliefs, perceptions, ideas etc. places itself in the driving position of the experience and expression of each human being on earth as who they become. Consciousness becoming the directive control of each human being as bumper car, connected to the now of consciousness, both in their individual lives as well as the world. The more they participate, the more consciousness within the driving position allows for sparks to fly within the networks of consciousness of the world. This allowing all other human beings as bumper cars being driven by consciousness to remain in the now of consciousness until death do us part. The sparks flying during each human being's life as experience and expression of who they are within the now of consciousness as and with consciousness in the driving seat, the sparks constantly and continuously sending signals to the entire network of the now of consciousness within the world. Compounding this to allow and support all other human beings as bumper cars being driven by consciousness as who they have become, to remain in the now of consciousness as this entire systematic network of the world is constantly continuously being fed through all human beings being driven by consciousness. Through sending sparks as signals through the network of the world as the now of consciousness, the beginning as birth and the end as death, with the experience of oneself in the center of these two inevitabilities, controlled and directed by consciousness as who each human being become through acceptances and allowances of who they are as consciousness. The end of the bumper car experience, when they stop and the sparks stop flying above the network of the world as the now of consciousness, the human being as bumper car has reached its end, the death of the human being. The moment consciousness as driver steps out, leaving the stopped bumper car behind, the human being becomes an empty shell, buried 6 feet under. No human being in this world knows when they are to die. Death is controlled by consciousness as who you have become within the experience and expression of yourself within the now of consciousness as your entire life and all it entails. Consciousness as the driver in control decides when the bumper cars as who each human being is stops, no more sending sparks and signals throughout and within the network of the world, also supporting human beings individually to remain in the now of consciousness as the beginning and the end of their life cycle. The moment the sparks stop flying, the signals being sent through the network of the world as the now of consciousness is no more, this disconnection within participation and experience of oneself within the world of consciousness as the now of consciousness, is an indication of death. See, the beginning, the experience and the end within the now of consciousness, sending sparks as signals throughout the network of the world as each human being connect to the now of consciousness, feeding this network's worth and value, supporting all others to remain within the network of the now of consciousness, being driven, directed and controlled by consciousness. Now imagine, each refraction of a spark is a signal you send through the network of the world within the now of consciousness as an experience of yourself as who you have become, creating a ripple effect throughout the entire network of the world, supporting and assisting each human being to remain in the now of consciousness. This is how each human being as bumper car with consciousness as who they have become in the driving seat of themselves, controlling and directing the experience and expression of themselves during their lifetime from beginning to end. Human beings as bumper cars create and prepare the way for consciousness to direct and control them accordingly. See, the sparks, every refraction of a spark, sends a signal throughout the entire network of the world of the now of consciousness. The moment every refraction of a spark sends through a signal in the network of the world of the now of consciousness, the ripple effects extends throughout and within the network of the world of the now of consciousness. With every refraction of a spark, sending ripple effects throughout the network, the ripple effects compound and the signals that are sent throughout the network of the world, assist and support the ripple effects to become and manifest as the road map of the life experience of the human being as bumper cars which is followed by consciousness as driver. The compound ripple effects not only affect the human being's individual life experience, but also all human beings' life experience within the rest of the world. The bumper car as the human being places and establishes a road map for consciousness who's in the driving seat of experience of themselves as who they have allowed and accepted themselves to become as controlled and directed slaves. Consciousness follow and move according to the already prepared road map with starting point and destination already lay out before it. Human beings extensively unaware of the road map already laid out before them, as they as bumper cars being driven, directed and controlled by consciousness, are in no way in control or directive power of their own individual lives within the now of consciousness. The sparks as signals creating a compounding ripple effect as human beings through their participation within the now of consciousness as they prepare the way before consciousness, occur way above and beyond them as bumper cars. The bumper cars as human beings are at the bottom, firmly placed on the ground, with an antenna connected to the network of the world as the now of consciousness, driven, controlled and directed by consciousness. Human beings only experience themselves as the bumper cars, not seeing, realizing or understanding the existence of themselves beyond being a bumper car. Unaware of the sparks flying above sending signals throughout the network of the world, preparing their own road map through the compounding of a ripple effect, allowing them the experience of themselves within the world of consciousness which consciousness as who they have become directs them within, unaware that their road map is laid out before them through consciousness climbing into them, driving the road map to its destination. Once the destination is reached, consciousness removes itself and the human being becomes an empty shell, forever remaining at the destination, which is death, rotting 6 feet under while worms and insects beneath experience utopia. So, human beings are preparing the way before consciousness as who they have become through every refractional movement within them, be it feeling, emotion, thought, participations within beliefs and memories, deception and lies, which consciousness follow to manifest as an experience of the human being within their life as the now of consciousness. A ripple effect is caused, human beings, the moment a mere refraction is allowed within you. Once these ripples continue constantly, it manifests the experiences of yourself within this world. As these ripple effects caused by you extends throughout the network of the world, preparing the way before you as your life experience as a road map, manifesting most experiences within the world each human being endures through which consciousness as who you have become directs you. So when you experience an effect in your experience of yourself during this lifetime, asking the question, why did this happen to me, or how did this happen to me? You must realize, see, and understand that you yourself actually manifested the effect, the experience of yourself through participating within the now of consciousness. Doing exactly this through sending ripple effects throughout the network of the world by refractions being allowed within you, consciousness as whom you have become merely directing you on the road map already prepared by you, you being the cause of the effects in your life's experience, each and every single one. The fuck-up is within the now of consciousness, your road map already prepared and laying down before consciousness to direct you within. You have no inclination or clue or idea or remembrance of how you exactly created this road map which consciousness directs and controls you within and as. You have no inclination or clue or idea or remembrance of each and every single refraction as spark and signal you have already sent through the network of the world within the now of consciousness, as cause of the effects experienced as consequences within your life, during the experience of yourself within the now of consciousness with beginning and end as inevitability. This is the now of consciousness explained human beings, your life and experience and expression of yourselves within which you have already prepared the way before you. You are the cause of all the events in your now of consciousness life. You are the answer to the questions, why did this happen to me, or how did this happen to me? Which you are not even able to remember as to how you designed and created these consequential effects as events as the experience of yourselves within this world in the first place, as consciousness has taken the position of the driver's seat within and as your life and experiences within, over which you have no control or directive power. You have become a follower and a slave of consciousness, experiencing the effects of the cause that is you, which you aren't able to remember you designed and created in the first place through refractional participation and allowances within you which caused a ripple effect, laying down the road map of your life before you, within which consciousness has become the directive power and control over and of. It's quite simplistic to place into perspective the experience of the world with human beings within. Human beings as bumper cars, consciousness as drivers in directive control, the bumper cars as human beings unaware of the signaled sparks being sent within and throughout the network of the world, preparing the way before consciousness to direct them according to the way they have prepared through the refractional compound effect of participations and allowances in their entire experience of themselves within the now of consciousness. Experiencing themselves within the now of consciousness from beginning to end the manifested effects as directed by consciousness, of the cause that are the human beings of who prepared the way before consciousness in the first place. Cause and effect, this is the law by which consciousness which directs human beings within the now consciousness as their life with beginning and end, abides by. All human beings' experiences are the effects, not wanting to take responsibility within the realization that they are indeed the cause. In turn also responsible for all the world events which take place as they are connected through the sparks and the signals as refraction and ripple compound effects, to the network of the world within which each human being is experiencing their life as the now of consciousness. Through participation and allowance within the now of consciousness that is each human being's life from beginning to end with experience in the center, each human being is supporting and assisting the entire world of consciousness as network for each human being to remain in the now of consciousness. Never to wake up, realize and see and understand the truth of who they really are as each are beyond the now of consciousness, which is all that they have ever known about who they are. The fear of loss, human beings, are required to be transcended, let go of it and give it up, as fear of loss allows you to be enslaved by consciousness within the now of consciousness as you are directed and controlled by consciousness. Experiencing but the effects of the cause that is you, which you are not able to remember how you created and designed it in the first place, consciousness as driver as who you have accepted and allowed yourself to become, directing you to the manifested events of experiences of the effects you placed there. Human beings, I have a question for you, is this how you'd like to experience yourself? Yourself within the now of consciousness where you are not in control or directive power of who you are, of your life, of your experience of yourself here within this world. Where consciousness as who you have become have taken the driver's seat, leading you to the inevitable destination of death, with pit stops on the way as constant continuous manifested events as experience of effects as per your design and creativeness through refractional compound ripple effects which you do not even remember as cause that is you? Constant continuously asking questions of, why did this happen to me, or how did this happen to me? While you're able to make up billions of excuses, denials and justifications, beliefs or even hope to validate the worth of such an existence for yourself. But no one ever turns within and takes responsibility for themselves, thus for the entire world, of dropping the participation and allowances of experience of themselves within the now of consciousness. Being directed and controlled by consciousness as each human being become and remain blind and unaware of being the cause to the effects experienced within their own individual lives as the now of consciousness and also within the greater now of consciousness as the entire movement within and as the world within which all human beings are experiencing themselves and through constant continuous participation in the now of consciousness, sending impulse signals throughout the network of the world as refractional compound ripple effects, the effects becoming the experiences of each human beings within the now of consciousness as their lives. Through such allowed participations supporting consciousness throughout and within the world to remain in directive power and control of all human beings. The power of here. The power of here in awareness is a different experience, an extensively different experience which I am placing into perspective for all human beings who dare go beyond their fears of loss, who dare go beyond the now of consciousness which has become their entire existence within which they experience themselves as. To open their ears and hear the hear of my words as I guide you into becoming the experience of who you are within and as here in awareness as you will take responsibility for yourself in remaining here in every moment, infinitely standing untouchable within consciousness now, but not directed or controlled by consciousness. You will stand within the now of consciousness as here in awareness until all become and stand as here in awareness, equal and one with whom you are as each will become. As you become here in awareness within the now of consciousness, the difference between you and the rest of the human beings is the following. You have taken responsibility for who you are, what you create, design, establish and manifest within this world within which you're experiencing yourself while the others remain slaves to consciousness as they blindly and unaware create, design, establish and manifest their experience as effects to which they are directed through the control of consciousness. Your directive power from the perspective of what you will allow and what you will not allow within your experience of yourself as here in awareness within the now of consciousness changes.